This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. We are closely tracking the tropics tonight.
Tropical Depression 9 is steadily moving toward Florida, and ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan is joining us now with the latest track. Bob.
Yeah, meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center having a difficult time with this storm for the past week now. It has been fooling the models, and this time no different. It was expected to be a tropical storm this morning, but hasn't gained that status yet due to some shear and some dry air. Now, however, some very reliable models, 3 in particular, are suggesting that this will become a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico within the next 48 hours. So that remains to be seen, but the National Hurricane Center taking these models rather serious and has issued now a hurricane watch for parts of Florida. The good news is it does not include us, and we'll take a look at the system right now on the color-enhanced satellite imagery. You can see it's been just a tremendous amount of rainfall for Cuba. Over a foot of rain has fallen already, estimates from this system, and now we're getting an explosion of storms right near the center, so it's kind of going through another stage here. It's moving to the northwest very slowly at 5 miles an hour. That shear is expected to not be as intense in the northern Gulf of Mexico because the trough, which was expected to drive it to the east, is not going to be as strong, and that means it's going to have more of a northerly bend to it as opposed to that east-northeasterly turn. And it looks like landfall sometime Thursday late afternoon, and possibly as a Category 1 hurricane. But again, they caution us, and we caution you, not to be concerned with the center line. Even though we're not in the cone of uncertainty, we are still going to get hammered with a lot of rainfall here, and it will cause some flooding problems. As far as the watch and warnings go, you can see that's the hurricane watch in the area of red. You see all the way down south to just north of Hillsborough and Pinellas County. So that includes the Big Bend area and then the area in yellow, which includes Tallahassee now under a tropical storm watch. Those will be changing throughout the day tomorrow. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. And people in flood-prone areas will be closely watching the weather, of course, over the next few days.
That includes homeowners on Manatee Key who have witnessed their beach wash away. And now many homes are threatened by rising waters. ABC7's Christopher Brantley has more.
Well, Scott and Haley, as bad weather potentially bears down on the Suncoast, residents here on Manatee Key are especially worried, hoping that their homes don't fall into the Gulf. This is what keeps Harry Arts up at night. This is the underside of his home.
Now I can put some more sandbags down, but small sandbags don't do anything against a large storm.
The beach has been washing away for years. Now that it's almost gone, a panic is setting in. Arts and others are rushing to lay sandbags, but Sarasota County only allows small sandbags.
We've spoken with 3 contractors and 2 engineers, and each of them has suggested it's really not worth doing.
Back in June, we introduced you to 90-year-old Betty Gothrop, whose home is quite literally falling down.
I want to spend the rest of my life here, even though I don't expect it to be 10 more years, but I wanted to spend it here. And now I'm not sure I can spend the rest of the summer here.
And she hasn't. Gothrop left to go to Boston some weeks back and we're told isn't planning on coming back until the storm season is over. At Harry Arts' home, he's spoken to various state agencies but places blame on Sarasota County.
I've talked to the DEP. They have solutions. Unfortunately, the county does not really see permanent solutions as an alternative.
For their part, Sarasota County says they are conducting a coastal assessment, saying, quote, information from this assessment will help to inform discussions about possible shoreline projects in the future.
You know, at this point, all we can do is hope.
Mr. Hartz does plan to come out tomorrow morning and continue sandbagging up, hoping to create some sort of barrier between his home and the Gulf of Mexico. Reporting on Manatee Key, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
And the tropical depression will likely kick up surf on the Suncoast, so boat owners are urged to take steps now to make sure their boats stay in place, stay afloat, and are not damaged. Captains suggest that you check the boat that it is securely fastened to all the docks and all the hatches, windows, and doors are closed. Boaters should also remove all of their expensive gear and equipment.
And while we closely watch TD9, another system is kicking up some rough surf along the North Carolina coast. Tropical Depression 8 is moving toward the Nags Head area with a tropical storm warning in effect there. Forecasters expect it to strengthen to a tropical storm, but say it will remain offshore. The coastal area, though, could see several inches of rain. And a reminder, you can get updates on the tropics and Suncoast forecast 24 hours a day in many different ways. You can download our app, log on to our website, mysuncoast.com, and monitor our Facebook pages.
And for the very first time, we're hearing the 911 calls made on the night of the deadliest shooting in the U.S. 49 people were killed and dozens of others injured when the lone gunman opened fire inside an Orlando nightclub. The suspect was later shot and killed by police. ABC's Elizabeth Herr reports.
Hello? Hello? What's going on?
From the screams in the background
A shot just hit the door of the place that I'm working in. A shot hit your door?
to the confusion in their voices,
Well, I'm calling about my brother because he's in there. When he called us, he was in the bathroom. And he said that there's a lot of dead people, and I don't know.
the 911 calls just released from the Orlando massacre
Where is he right now? He's over there. He said he can now get off.
provide a snapshot of the sheer horror the families and the survivors endured when bullets started flying.
How many shots did you hear?
More than 10.
Did you hear anything after the gunshots?
No. As soon as I heard that, we ran.
According to the FBI, there is surveillance video from inside Pulse nightclub showing multiple angles of the killer Omar Mateen, as one source put it, walking through the rooms, mowing people down, cold-blooded, then calling 911 himself to pledge his allegiance to ISIS. In the end, killing 49 people and injuring 53 others. Now, many of the calls we heard today were from concerned loved ones who were calling about a brother or a girlfriend who were texting them from inside the club, begging for help. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Here at home tonight, a town hall meeting in Manatee County will focus on how to fill the need for more foster families due to the area's heroin epidemic. The Safe Children Coalition has seen more parents die from heroin overdoses in the last 2 months than in the last 2 years, leaving many children without homes and in need of foster parents. Child removal rates in Manatee County are also nearly double the state average. Coalition will host that town hall on this problem. It will run tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Dream Center on 24th Street East in Bradenton.
An investigation is underway at Palmetto High School. A representative for the Manatee County School District says 2 bullets were found in a boys' bathroom on Monday. The school did not go on lockdown, but the school resource officer was made aware of the discovery. The school district believes it was a random act and there is no known threat at the school. However, extra law enforcement patrolled the school yesterday and today because of these bullets.
Another Manatee County intersection now has red light cameras. A 30-day warning period begins today for drivers at the intersection of 53rd Avenue and US 41. After the period ends next month, the cameras will begin taking photos of red light runners in the southbound lanes of 53rd Avenue. This is the county's 10th red light camera intersection. No more are planned with its current camera vendor.
An update now on an Orlando developer's plan to build a 5-star resort on Longboat Key. Unicor says it has hired an architect, land planner, and engineer to develop the former Colony Resort property. The resort was closed 6 years ago and is considered uninhabitable. All of the commercial buildings have been demolished, but the developer still needs to get signatures from condo owners before tearing down the residential units. Unicor says it has started a preliminary design for the new resort.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the wide-ranging impact of Alzheimer's.
How the illness affects so many people, and we have more on the support available on the Suncoast.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Welcome back, two of my favorite guests, Cash 3 and Play 4.
Surprise! We're Pick 3 and Pick 4 now.
Whoa!
But we still play exactly the same. We just got a fresh new look.
Speaking of surprises, I have one for you. Say hello to Pick 2 and Pick 5!
Introducing the complete Pick family of games.
We're family now.
The new Pick 2 and Pick 5 have joined Pick 3 and Pick 4 to give you more choices in your daily gameplay. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
40 Carrots Family Center and the Community Foundation of Sarasota County present a free speaker event, The Gift of Failure, How the Best Parents Learn to Let Go So Their Children Can Succeed, featuring author and educator Jessica Leahy at Hyatt Regency Sarasota on Monday, September 12th. Discover how to motivate kids to learn for the sake of learning. Wean kids off rewards, bribes, and parental reminders, and approach parenting as a journey toward competence. RSVP required at 40carrots.org. That's FORTY carrots.org.
The passing of Gene Wilder shines the spotlight on Alzheimer's disease. ABC7's Alex Redmond joins us with the challenges the progressive illness presents for many members of our community. Alex.
That's right, Haley. Alzheimer's can dim even the brightest star, but the disease takes not only a toll on patients, but those who care for them.
After Ronald Sheff took his wife of 67 years to the doctor.
She said, no, it's Monday. I want to dance. I want to dance. And we danced Monday, and she died Friday.
Advanced dementia did not stop Janet Sheff from dancing with her lifelong partner.
I would lead, and she would follow.
It is a progressive disease for which there is no cure. And Alzheimer's disease doesn't discriminate. It affects everybody differently.
She had forgotten who I was.
All three of Faith Blaze's sisters died of Alzheimer's disease, but her younger sister resonates most.
Heartbreaking in itself because she was such a vibrant woman.
Some people may be able to retain some semblance of their personality, while others...
My dear Uncle George had it. He got very bad. I mean, he got to the point where he really didn't know who particularly was who.
Betty LeCookson says her fiancé has Alzheimer's.
The biggest concern is, am I going to go there someday and he's just not going to know who I am?
Now, complications of Alzheimer's disease claims the life of cinematic comedy legend Gene Wilder at 83.
In a world of pure imagination.
I first met Wilder in the 90s at a Gilda's Walk fundraiser in Manhattan. Wilder was laugh-out-loud funny and achingly heartbreaking all at once, emotions he invested in many of his characters. His family writes the disease never stole his ability to recognize those that were closest to him, nor took command of his central, gentle, life-affirming core personality.
For some people, they can function very well and maintain long-term memory and things like that, where for other people, memory can be very affected.
Danielle Valeria says those diagnosed may benefit from healthy diet and exercise.
But socialization is also one of those key factors that we know helps affect the outcome of staging off the progression of the illness once it begins.
Sheff said he and his wife had a life of dancing, and that's thanks to the Friendship Center. It made all the difference in the world, especially after her diagnosis. Back to you, Haley.
That is so great to know. Thank you, Alex. And now we'll head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast in the tropics.
Yeah, Casey Key webcam showing the tropical moisture moving up from the south and lots of rain headed that way here in the next hour or so as a result of just some instability in the atmosphere. You can see the rain off in the distance there in the Gulf, and boy, it's really fired up today along the southeast coast. And looks like more rain in store for us through the night. We'll have breaks occasionally, but showers and storms will redevelop due to the fact that the low pressure is pretty close to us right now. And you can see that rainfall now moving through Sanibel and Fort Myers and also into Venice. The showers were rather intense there through Englewood and Northport, and they still are. They're moving off to the north at around 15 miles an hour. So they're moving through at a pretty good clip, but they are producing some torrential rains at times. Now there's that area now into Venice, entering into Osprey as well as into Palmer Ranch, spreading up toward that's Clark Road and I-75 here, and Northport getting a deluge of rain right now, and that will continue, as I mentioned, throughout the day on Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly even into Friday now, but looking a little bit better for us by midday Friday. This line is moving, as I said, to the north at around 15 miles an hour, and these are some of the cities that it should be nearby or areas. Gulfgate Estates right around 5:55, and then Southgate a little bit later after that, around 6:03, just that one line. But other lines developing out in the Gulf of Mexico, and really intense rainfall along the East Coast. Just some convergent bands set up there as a result of our tropical depression number 9 out there in the Gulf. As far as the overall tropical threat goes for us, still, there's a potential for very heavy rainfall, 3 to 7 inches, and some isolated areas up to 10. Always a potential for isolated tornadoes, especially as the system gets close to making landfall and we start to see some of those feeder bands work their way onshore. And that'll be a real possibility on Thursday, so keep that in mind. When these bands work their way through, there's always potential for a brief isolated tornado. And winds, right now we're looking at not a real bad windstorm with us. We'll see a possibility of some tropical storm force wind gusts and Thursday morning through Thursday, and then subsiding somewhat on Friday. A surge, right now it's a little difficult to tell, but we are going to get one. And along with the high tides will be about a foot to 2 feet above average, and then a little bit of a surge moving in as the center gets closer to the Big Bend area. Here are some of the buoys out there indicating some wave heights also starting to pick up. We talked about that earlier. You have to make sure that your boat is securely moored. On top of that, they're going to have big time waves, and surfers always move out to the beaches when the tropical systems are around, so be careful. Rip currents will be in place all up and down the area beaches right through Saturday. As far as the latest location goes, there it is, northwest at 5, the motion more northerly late tonight, and then eventually making landfall sometime midday on Thursday or possibly a little later than that. We'll see how that works out. And the rainfall forecast continues to be rather intense for the west coast of Florida, coastal locations more so than inland locations. But as I alluded to, difficult to tell exactly where the 10 inches may be, but it could be around across coastal locations all the way from, say, Hillsborough County southward down into Charlotte County. 86 degrees. We have clouds around. Dew point is at 73. The rain moving in. The pressure 2991. That is falling slightly. The high today finally below average because of the clouds and showers this morning. First day in a while that we've been below average as far as that goes. And rainfall, we haven't had any report yet from the airport, but that will be changing through the night. Here's a 7-day forecast. Windy weather and breezy conditions for the next 3 days. The brunt of the storm, although will be just to the north of us, we'll still feel some pretty big effects here. And then temperatures cooling down a little bit as we move into Sunday. The rain chances dropping as well after Saturday. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, and I-75 is moving smoothly in both the north and southbound lanes.
Apple says it will appeal the European Union's decision for the company to pay $14.6 billion in back taxes to the Irish government. That's the biggest single bill for corporate tax avoidance in EU history. The ruling brings an end to a controversial deal which sees Apple pay just 2% corporate tax in Ireland, or even less. That's far lower than the country's typical 12.5% rate. Apple CEO Tim Cook says the company never asked or received special deals on its taxes from Ireland.
Allegiant Air is adding a new flight from Punta Gorda Airport to Dayton, Ohio. The new flight will be a year-round, nonstop flight. Allegiant is known for its ultra-low fares, and the company says one-way fares will start as low as $51. The service will be available beginning November 17th. Allegiant began service to Southwest Florida in 2009 and has since added flights from 31 cities. One company is making it a little easier for travelers to buy flight tickets. CheapAir.com is teaming up with a finance company to offer purchase plans. It will now allow travelers to pay for their airfare in monthly installments. Buying a ticket involves a credit check, which determines the interest rate. Airfare prices have been dropping recently thanks to lower fuel costs and more capacity. Some analysts expect ticket prices to drop even further this fall, and I sure hope so.
Maybe you should wait a little bit before booking.
Yeah, they said right about now is when you'll start to see the drop,
Yeah.
and then you'll see another drop. So just hold out a little bit
Yeah.
and then make those holiday arrangements.
That's awesome. All right, entertainment news is next. Stay with us.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Police are searching rapper Chris Brown's suburban Los Angeles home.
Authorities responded to a call for help from a woman who was on Brown's property. Police say Brown came out of the home peacefully after a standoff. They're now searching his home for a weapon he allegedly used to threaten the woman. Meanwhile, the 27-year-old has posted videos on Instagram denying he did anything wrong. Brown does have a history of run-ins with law enforcement.
Ryan Lochte is not saying whether he'll return to Brazil. The Olympic swimmer has been summoned to Rio to face a charge of filing a false police report over a gas station encounter. On Good Morning America today, Lochte said his legal team is dealing with the situation. He admits he lied about having a gun held to his head at the gas station where he and 3 other swimmers had stopped to use a restroom.
You know, I think it was still hours after the incident, and, you know, I'm not one to make excuses, but I mean, I was still intoxicated. I was still going through the emotions of, you know, having a gun pulled on me. And I mean, I'm human. I made a mistake, and that's something that I'm going to have to live with.
Lochte says he wants to put the incident behind him, and it seems he's doing just that. Lochte named as one of the contestants on the upcoming season of ABC's Dancing with the Stars. The season 23 cast will also include Olympic gymnast Lori Hernandez, Brady Bunch star Maureen McCormick, Babyface, and former Texas Governor Rick Perry. The new season premieres at 8 p.m. on Monday, September 12th, right here on ABC7.
A tidal wave of support for Frank Ocean's new album, Blonde. He just nabbed the first #1 album. Blonde debuted on top of the Billboard 200 album chart with a big first week, the third biggest sales week of the year so far, behind Drake's Views and Beyonce's Lemonade. And it had the second biggest streaming week. People pressed play on Blonde more than 64 million times.
Alicia Keys is paying tribute to the record executive who offered her a recording contract more than 15 years ago. Music mogul Clive Davis will receive the Humanitarian Award at the 13th Annual Black Ball in October. The event is an extension of Keys' charity, Keep a Child Alive, which supports HIV and helps victims in Africa and India. Keys says she's honoring Davis for his long-standing commitment in the fight against AIDS.
I love when celebrities reach out and do so much philanthropic work, and you can tell that their intentions behind it, that they really,
because they have such a powerful voice, because so many people know them.
Yeah, making a difference.
We'll be right back with more news and the latest on that tropical depression in the Gulf.